Hello, homesteaders. Today we're going to talk to you about an extra bonus of homesteading, and that is a lot of exercise and good physical fitness. The beauty of exercise on the homestead is that there's no choice. You know, you either do it or you're going to starve to death and be miserable. So there are all kinds of things that must be done, and you just do them. And you get the physical exercise as a bonus, free for nothing. I've never had to pay to go to a gym, and if I could, I wouldn't, because I hate repetitive exercise. I hate lifting weights. There's just nothing in that I enjoy. I'm not going to walk on a treadmill. So if I'm going to do some physical exercise, I want to get something at the end. I want it to produce something that's valuable. Here on the homestead, that's really easy to do. There are so many chores here that will help you stay healthy. Now, let me give you a caveat. I'm 72 years old, so I have to be careful that I don't overdo it. It's not going to help you in your physical fitness if you break yourself. You have to take this with a grain of salt and, kind of figure out your age and your ability to do some of these things. But here are some basic things that we do around the homestead. They all will help you to stay physically fit. One of them, of course, is just walking. Walking again, more walking. We have 35 acres here. Even if you just have an acre and you're just doing your work and your chores every day, you're going to get in your 10,000 steps real regularly. I just walk and walk and walk. As I get older, I may have to get myself a little cart because I can't keep up with all the walking, and particularly when I'm doing projects and I've got a bunch of guys working, I wear myself out just walking. But walking is one of the best exercises, and you'll get plenty of it just in your daily routine on the homestead. Another thing, I'll call it lifting weights. I'm lifting weights. I hate lifting weights. My father was a real athlete, and he was a physical fitness nut. He lifted weights until just a few weeks before he died. He lifted weights every single day, and he was really healthy up until 94. So yeah, lifting weights has a benefit. But again, I don't want to just lift weights. That would bore me stiff. What I want to do is just in the course of my work, when I'm accomplishing something that's going to help everybody, I will be lifting some weight. Water weighs 8 pounds a gallon. So a 5-gallon bucket full of water weighs 40 pounds. You grab a hold of a couple of those babies and walk across the homestead, you got your weightlifting going. I actually use a little wagon. I have 3 wagons here. If I've got 2 buckets full of water, I put them in the wagon and pull the wagon. It's getting a little bit hard for me to handle 2 5-gallon buckets of water and walk across the homestead with them. Every one of these blocks, laid by young Carlos and myself, they weigh 35 pounds apiece. So always something. Again, on the compost, all those blocks, we did all that. Nobody does anything for us around here. The people who live here are the ones that do the work. Here are our composting bins. Everything has to be lugged out in 5-gallon buckets again from our composting toilet. Bring it out here and put it on. And so again, just small weights, but consistent every day, every day, every day. This has to be done. One of the best exercises that I've ever found that's total from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet is digging, shoveling, moving dirt. We do a lot of moving dirt here on the homestead. Then there's always, your bags of feed. They usually weigh 50 pounds that you're lugging around. Be careful with that, you old people. Another one of my favorites is firewood. Firewood is a constant source of exercise. Cutting firewood, stacking firewood, going and get firewood out of the stack and moving it into the house, cleaning the ashes out of the stove, all of these things. Firewood is just work, and I enjoy it very much. But here's just one more example of lugging around stuff that you need to lug around. And during the winter time, I'm doing that all the time. Finally, gardening. We talk about food production in the AbundaCulture program, and basically what it is gardening. Gardening is one of the most popular hobbies in America. In fact, it is the most popular hobby in America, and it provides really excellent light exercise. Most of the time it's light. if you have to shovel up the garden, it gets a little heavier. I avoid heavy digging. The way we grow things, you don't have to do a lot of heavy digging, but it still works. We use this thing called a garden weasel, and the only thing we have to do in the spring is go ahead and just loosen that compost. This is 100% compost, not heavy soil. If we tried to put heavy soil in these barrels, it would turn to concrete. You can see how you can work that soil. It's nice and fluffy and light. It'll get a little bit heavier with water, of course. But that, we'll use the garden weasel in the spring here. We'll do that on all of these barrels. And then on these planters outside, the red ones there that you see, we'll use the garden weasel on all those. And then we'll be carting in, again, in the 5-gallon buckets, one of my favorite weights, all the fresh compost. We'll add fresh compost to everything before we get started. And so always something physical to do on your place. So again, be careful, don't overdo it. When you overdo it, what you do is you get all those muscles hurting, and then you're not going to feel like exercising. It's better to do a little bit of exercise every single day. That's what'll really help you stay in great shape. The thing is here, these things are just part of your daily routine. The other thing is, I do try to watch my weight a little bit. I lost about 40 pounds. Think about that. You are carrying around 2 20-pound bowling balls all the time. Well, that's exercise, but that's not the kind of exercise that I think you want. That's exercise that wears out the joints. You don't feel particularly well, and it takes a lot more energy to do whatever it is that you do. So keeping your weight in line, and we can do that here because we eat lots of vegetables, and the young people that live here have made it so I can't drink any pop. And so watch your sugar, keep it down, do some of these things, enjoy some physical exercise. You're helping get all the chores done, and you're keeping yourself in shape. Thanks, friends. We'd love to hear your comments. You might have a lot of other ideas about how you get exercise on your homestead, so let us know. Thanks again. Keep your eyes on the sky. I want you to be physically fit when he comes back. I'm lifting weights. Always something physical to do on your place. Unless you're Thomas, and then the only thing that you lift is like a camera. There you go.
Will you stop you from drinking soda?
Yes, you rotten children. Yeah. You made me feel bad every time I had one. This bucket full of water weighs 40 pounds. So that's why it pumps me up. Again with the walking. The ceaseless walking.
Oh, cool.
He's awesome.
Sweet.
Yep. And then there's going to be another. I am just not thinking about a thing. I can do it for hours. Come on. Those things need to be fixed. Okay. What else? Signing off.